So we're going to talk about how to make box and whisker plots in Excel and also the 5-number summary. So this is a collaboration with OpenStax. So you can get the OpenStax text for free. You can look for the link in the description in the video, and also the workbook that I'm using. It's free, so you can either find a link to it in the description in the video or go to divideandconquermath.com and go to the OpenStax statistics section. Okay, so for this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to create the 5-number summary, which would be the minimums, Q1, Q2, Q3, and the maximum. And then we're also going to create a box and whisker plot. Okay, so we're going to actually do this 2 ways. So what I want to do is I want to show you 2 different ways to do this because it's actually important to know what type of box and whisker plot Excel draws. So let's start with, we'll make this one for the including formula, and we'll make this one the excluding formula. Okay, so in the including formula, so I can take my set of data, I can use that min formula, so I can just calculate the minimum here, okay? And then for my quartiles, so I'm using that including formula, and so I can select all of this. And so actually you can see now from the including formula this interesting thing. So for the including formula, you can go from 0 to 4. So what this tells me is that actually I can just use this one formula to write the 5-number summary. So I started this one way, but I've decided that I'd like to be strategic. So this is a normal thing that can happen. Sometimes you just want to be more strategic in how you're setting things up with Excel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here. And I'm just going to color it orange just so that I don't forget that these are just kind of dummy numbers that I'm going to reference. And I'm actually going to use just this QUARTILE.INC formula to find all of my values. So for my QUARTILE.INC, I select my data, and then here it's asking for which one do you want, and that's why I created that box of dummy numbers. So the first number that I want is now being covered by the formula. So when that happens, remember what you can do is you can just click, you can click on any other box that you want, but then you can arrow over to where you know that cell reference is. So I know that cell reference now is under where my formula is being covered up. Okay, now the only other thing that you want to think about before you hit enter here is that when you drag this formula, does anything need to be locked? And so in this case, this array, I don't want this array to move as I drag the formula. So I also just want to lock all the cell references here before I go any farther. Okay, so now I can drag this formula down, and so you can see, so this array stayed locked while these references move, so pretty slick. And so now I have my 5-number summary using the including formula. Now, if I try to do the same thing with the QUARTILE.EXC formula, so you'll notice that, so if I select this array, for whatever reason, the excluding formula only does first, second, and third quartile. And so then it's kind of up to you as to how, I guess, you want to compute this. So I'm just going to put in a 1 for the first quartile, and I'm going to go back to just using my standard formulas. So for my minimum, I'm just going to use the min formula. For my median, Q2, I'm just going to use the median formula. For my Q3, I'm going to use this QUARTILE.EXC formula, and so that's going to be quartile 3. And then for the max, I'll just use the max formula. Okay, so as you can see, the minimum stays the same for both, the quartile stays the same for both, and the maximum stays the same for both. But Q1 and Q3 are different for each list. And so what's interesting then is, so from either one of these, you could technically create your box and whisker plot, or you can ask Excel to create it for you. But you have to wonder, which formula is Excel using when it computes your box and whisker plots? Just something to know. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to select my data, and I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to go to Recommended Charts. And if I look through these charts, I can't see a box and whisker plot. So what I'll do is I'll go to All Charts here, and I'll go down to Box and Whisker, and now I can see the box and whisker plot. Okay, now here's my box and whisker plot, but I cannot tell what some of these values are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the chart with like all the pictures on it, and make sure that like the box and then the little points at the end are all selected. If those aren't all selected, click off the chart and then click on it again so you can see how everything's there. And now I can right click on it and add my data labels. And so now you can see what is going on here. And so you can see, so the minimum is 0. in this case, it's saying this first line here is going to be my Q1, that's 15. So obviously this is corresponding to these two are connected, right? So maybe I'll draw a line here. So these two things are connected to one another. So my Q1 is 15, my Q3 is 110. The last data point before the maximum is 240, so that's what goes here, and then here's the 330. So sometimes if your maximum data point is kind of far away, they might break it off like this, just so you can kind of see what that spread is. And this kind of tells you then that there's probably some outliers also in your data. So this is an important thing to know, because depending on how you're being asked to compute your box and whisker chart, you might have an instructor that only wants you to use maybe like the including formula. So if this happened, then you'd have to compute your box and whisker chart by hand. So it just kind of depends on what it is that you're doing.